right. All right. All right. It says we are live, live, live. All right, guys. All right. For some reason I've had this cough this afternoon, but I think it should be good. All right, so this is our Tuesday night. Tuesday night. I want to say program in a way. I need to upgrade all my stuff. Hopefully you can hear me. I think you should be okay. So I'm gonna go over some things. I got my little notes this week. So hey, August, thank you for joining. We'll give a couple minutes. I'll just kind of chat about a couple things here at the beginning, waiting for people to come on, and all that. So, my Joker thing I thought about this morning. That would be the thumbnail there for the video. I'll just kind of talk about that right off the rip here, and then I'm gonna move on. So I think I was laughing this morning. I was thinking of the Joker, because like somebody, I don't know. I think I was thinking about a new figure that somebody sent me or something. But the other thing I was thinking about was, if you remember right, this last weekend, I went to a show in Tampa, and definitely these guys weren't. Hey, how are you? How are you? These guys were at Animate Orlando. I'm sure they had a great show there and all that. But it turns out that show that I took my daughter to deleted their entire social media. So I guess, I wasn't the only one that complained. So kind of going to keep it to that. I deleted the original video because I didn't want to give them really any more publicity. I had realized I had spent really too much time on that, and I like to try to be positive on my show. Awesome. That's great. I wish, sometimes I don't know if it was slow for most sellers. Interesting. So are you saying that it was more of a autograph show? There was a lot of cosplay there. I'd be interested in post some more comments on that, and or maybe love a conversation afterwards. I mean, I think you had I believe this is Bunting, I believe, but I believe you had done a video on this already, and you showed the line and everything. And so, okay. All right. I mean, if you want to come on here and talk about it, let me know, and I'll send you I'll invite there. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is, so again, the show that we're over, hopefully the person, I'm all about, I want to make sure that people are clear that, I'm not adverse to, or I mean, I'm not against people, doing a new show. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You can do whatever you want, but give me a minute here, and I'll see if we can get you on. But anyway, not adverse to having people having shows. You can do what you want. I'll support you 100% as long as it's not inflicting what it's not messing with my show. I'm all supportive. I want an example is, I don't have his name right this minute, but there was a blind box and card show in Orlando also this weekend, and he came out, or I heard that it was really good. It sounded like he had a great show. And he came to me, and I told him at the last show where he came to, I just don't remember his last name right now. But anyway, I told him, I said, that is a pretty good idea. It's not my thing, but I do think that it's a good idea. And so he did that, and he had a great show, and he didn't try to go too crazy big right off the rip. and I think that's a major mistake for people. You know, just because you have the money, you know, that doesn't mean to pay for the building, doesn't mean that, you know, um, Elliot. Okay, so I think were you at the I think you guys were down in the yeah, I think you guys are down in the Coral Springs show. So I had worked on that. So let me before we get too far, I'm going to see if I can invite here somebody. Let's see if we can invite somebody on here. Let's see. Let me go over here. Sorry, guys. Just bear with me here. I'm going to see if we can. I don't want to spend much time talking about somebody else's show, but but anyway, you know, there are other shows. I do visit other shows. I try to support other shows. My goal is to have an app still that I mean, it's actually built. I just need to work on finalizing it. Yeah, Coral Springs, Elliott. Okay. I'm talk about that in just a moment, the South Florida. You know, and I have an app that's really, the idea is to promote other, not just my events, but other events. But I just haven't had the time to sit down and finish it. It's mostly coded. It's going to be called Collector, and then people download it and people will be able to put their events in there and everything. I just haven't been able to put that together. Okay, let me talk about schedule over here real quick. And you know, and again, we're gonna be in Lakeland. We're in Lakeland. This is our. I didn't. You know what? I'm gonna be showing some photos here, and I didn't show. If you guys are on my personal page, I posted this last weekend was our first show. I think 6 years ago. 6 years ago. So we're technically in our 7th year of doing the show. I can't believe I'm saying that, but we are, like, because my wife was talking about how, okay, the first show that we did in Lakeland was August of 2019, and then in August of 2020 we were Lee, we'll talk about that. I don't think so, but in August of 2020, we were in the hotel that is now called the Lakeland Inn or something like that. It's been bought. It's not corporate owned now. It's owned by some people, and then they changed the quality in, so there's not anywhere. You know, they changed it to a restaurant. It's an Indian like restaurant now, and the space is gone, so it's not even available. Wasn't that big anyway. The first space that we had was like 2,500 square feet. If you go to my, actually what I'll do is maybe I'll go there myself. I know I'm going all over the place here, guys. Just bear with me. Sorry. And of course, it doesn't want to come up. Some memories here. Let me go ahead and share that tab versus. Let me. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna share. Stop screen. I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you, just because I don't. Okay, Facebook. Yeah, here we go. So if you were, you know, some of you may have even been there, but this was our first show, you know, literally back in August 11th, 2019. I you know, so I look at this every time this comes up on Facebook. It's just amazing to me. And you know, here's some more pictures of how packed this was. I learned so much at this event. You know, it's just, I mean, I'll tell you what, the the biggest thing here was there was there was no, there wasn't any rules. There wasn't any rules. Um, and I just let vendors do what they want, and we ended up having like 3-foot aisles, 2-foot aisles. People were bringing in wagons and everything. It was literally like unbelievable. And I remember we had, I mean, we had technically 400 people, a little bit more than 400 people that day, but I literally ran out of change. We ran out of change. Like we couldn't break because I think the first show we did was $2. I originally, there weren't any toy shows. Okay. I know in my opinion, people might say, oh no, there was, because maybe, Tom's show, that's more of a comic show, whatever. Maybe those shows were already there. Okay. But there wasn't a toy show that was focused on toys first around here at the time. And I was just like, well, maybe nobody cares. So I just got this little space and we sold the tables, and I modeled it after the Hot Wheels show. And I'm sure I've said this a bunch of times, but so I'm not trying to bore you, but it's just amazing to me. I was just blown away. I had never seen that before, like on something that I did. I just was like, wow, this is it. And then oh, hold on. Okay, hold on, log in and here. Okay, let me okay, and then all right, let's see. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop sharing that. Okay, and then Sharon, I'm going to bring him on here in just a second. We'll talk a little bit about the shows, and then I'm going to get into the schedule and everything. And hey, let's go ahead and welcome to the stage. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
All right, I appreciate you coming on. Now, why I brought Shimon here on here, and he's been me and him been talking offline and stuff a bunch of other times, but he's been, how long you been vending with our shows?
I mean, I started this year,
Right.
so I've only been doing it for literally I started in January,
Okay.
and I think my first show with you was in February.
Okay.
And when we were at Avanti.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would have been the Misfits show.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
and of course people are going to ask you what why did you decide why, because everyone thought I was nuts to do that show,
Honestly, man, you let me in, and so
Yeah.
I was like, hey,
Okay, cool.
I can deal with the fact that there's multiple shows going on. I understood, what you were trying to accomplish, and I thought it was a great idea.
Okay.
And it worked out. I mean, I kind of broke even, but then that was also a lot of me, learning,
Yeah.
customers and how to do things and stuff. And so, I've been steadily growing, and honestly, I can honestly say that, with each show that I've done, I've increased, my take home.
Right.
So, so
you've and we're going to talk about Animate Orlando here in just a second, but and you because I try to tell vendors new people that I said, it takes a couple times for you can't just go to the first show, and if it doesn't pan out, no matter who it's with, don't judge doing shows by that, because it takes, like you said, a few times maybe even, for you to figure out what people are interested in, what that you need to try to find maybe buy to resell, where the market is, because the market is changing a lot and stuff. But and so that's really good. I appreciate you saying that. It's changed. You learned, because I think a lot of people, they come in and they're just like, okay, I'm just gonna everybody, if you build it, they're gonna come or something. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah,
supposed to make
yeah.
money. Now, one thing I remember is you've been to other shows you signed up for in other
Mhm.
places, right?
Yeah.
A couple shows that you maybe name off a couple shows that you've done that aren't local here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've done a number of different anime shows. I even decided to take our store on a trip, and so we went to North Georgia and did a big show up there. Well, it was supposed to be a big show.
okay,
Um,
was that
it- that
was
was the
that? That's not
Metro Tham Con,
okay.
and supposedly it was like real good when it was in Chattanooga, but this was the first year in Georgia, and so that whole change of about maybe an hour difference really kind of threw things out of whack, I guess, for them. That's what I'm
Right.
assuming. They had a lot of good guests there, and I actually met some of them. I met Tuvok. He was busy walking the aisles and stuff.
Okay.
Who else? I met the young lady from uh, that played Princess Leia and Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Talked with her mom for a while. I even talked with um I can't remember her name. I'm gonna butcher it, but the young lady that played opposite Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series.
Okay. I haven't
And
watched that. I'll be honest. I'm just went to Book of Boba Fett, and that was the end. I didn't.
no, man, Ahsoka was great. You got to watch it, man. Give
Yeah.
her some
Okay. I
time.
will. I will do that.
But
I
so
got ruined with that stupid second Star Wars movie. Where they killed off Luke Skywalker, and I was like,
yeah,
that's it. I'm done with this new
yeah,
Disney Star
yeah,
Wars.
that was horrible. But
Yeah, but
it was
Mando was so
so
good.
yeah. So but that just shows you how even for the big name, um, you know, guests that were there signing, they didn't even have people up there signing, so they were just busy walking around. They
Oh
got
wow,
bored.
wow.
So that says a lot about
Do you
how they
think that
planned
the
that and everything that they did.
Do you think that
Um,
the promoter just assumed that if they had guests, people would just show up, or
yeah, I
maybe?
think they base it on that, and they base it on the fact that they did well in Chattanooga before they brought it down.
Mhm.
Figured that everybody would just follow,
Right.
and I guess they didn't take into account that Atlanta had a big convention going on, and then there was
Right.
another one in Chattanooga that was going on,
Hmm.
and another one in North Carolina. So and
Okay.
that place where we were at, North Georgia, it's connected to all those spots, or they're like within an hour, 2 hours time frame. So I think they underestimated their pull.
Okay. And I think, I think people underestimate location and timing. Every on these events as far as people, you'd be amazed. Like you were at our July show, our
Mhm.
Tampa Toy Con last month. That really July around here is a huge month. We had somebody else new here, Elliot, that hopefully still on here, but and people don't realize, I mean, when you see my schedule fill up for July and April, really those are our bigger months now. But going back to the shows, other than Con Misfits was just something, hey, I wanted to try. And yeah, we didn't have a huge amount of people there, but we had enough where people made money. There were spenders there, there were people buying there.
Yeah.
And we had a little bit. Did you go to the July or the June Avanti show?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right.
Yeah, I ended up trying to get into that too late, and so I ended up missing out on
Okay.
that one.
All
And
right.
then
So you went to Animate. I went to some BS crap show, okay, that really had nothing, but every time when I complained about it, they were all thinking that it was the show over in Orlando, and I said no. And you had posted a video of the line,
yeah,
that was pretty crazy.
that that Friday that line was just like it was amazingly long. Um,
Wow.
and I don't, and I'm assuming that you've been to MetroCon when they had MetroCon
I
in
haven't been
the
to any of those anime shows.
no, but
Like,
MetroCon.
no, I haven't been to any of those shows. So
Okay,
I've only been to um I've been to Comic Cons, and then I've been
right,
to
the
New
Comic
York
Con that
Comic
was there.
Con, but I haven't done like a anime Metro Con thing. I went to Galaxy Con in the Raleigh, Raleigh, North Carolina. That was, but I haven't been to any of these, like, I want to say anime focused events or whatever it was. I don't that's why I have you on here. You're going to tell me what it was.
Yeah, so Anime Orlando is I guess basically a derivative of GalaxyCon,
Oh,
where it's
okay.
supposed to be more focused on anime, and
Okay.
they did have a bunch of guests, a lot of voice actors. I when I do a show, I never get around anywhere. I am stuck at my booth
Right,
the
right.
entire
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I really don't go out and look to see who else is, who's there, or even a lot of the other vendors, except for who's next to me. Yeah, Metricon does have a lot of traffic.
Okay.
But so we were in there that I had to go back to my room to get something, and because I forgot something, and so it was like right before the door opened, and the line was massive. It was a really great line,
Right.
and so after that, I really expected there to just be droves of people, and I they did come in, and then everybody went to the autograph section, and that's where a lot of them spent most of their money, because by the time Sunday came around, so Friday it started off like was looking like it was going to be good. Oh, and it didn't help that it rained hard too over there, so
Right.
I'm sure that stopped a lot of people from coming out,
Okay.
because nobody's going to want to stand on the line in the rain, especially with those outfits on.
Right.
But so there were people there all 3 days, um, but you could tell that it was really slimming down.
Okay.
They had really large walkways, and so there wasn't anybody really bumping into each other. It was a couple folks stopping to take pictures and stuff of cosplayers and whatnot, um, and so
Hmm.
that every once in a while that will create like a really slight jam, but not even that, because people would just walk around. That just shows you that there really wasn't a whole lot of people there. They had a lot of artists there, um, and they had a decent amount of folks selling toys, and a whole lot of uh, 3D and 3D printed and things that people made on their own that they brought.
Oh,
And
okay.
but at the end of the day, we basically broke even.
Hmm.
So including the cost to get in, the cost of it, the cost of the hotel,
Well, what were
and
the
so
booths? Was it in the 800 or thousand
yeah,
dollar range?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And it was at the
And
Orange
and
County
that was
Convention
for the
Center.
small ones.
Right. And and I understand people wanting to do bigger events and everything, but I just, and believe it or not, there's, and I'm not saying Fanboy's a bad show, but I think it's funny that um I have, like, we had a vendor, we were at Star Wars show, one of the Star Wars vendors says, "Hey, he usually does Jacksonville." So I said, "Okay, you're coming to Jacksonville." "No, I'm going to Fanboy." And I said, "You're Nobody makes money at Fanboy, or I mean, maybe they do, but the people that I'm around, they don't." Okay. So as I go to Fanboy and I buy autographs, I'm not buying toys there. I mean, like, I'm not buying. So anyway, he's like, "No, I don't really care that I'm not making money. I'm gonna be there with the Goonies or whatever." So that, you have vendors that literally will just go. They know, and then there's other themed shows. I'm not gonna go into that because people will think that I'm throwing them under the bus, but um too many guests, I think, suck the money out of the room, and then whereas vendors are really what pays for the show, and I know that, and so
The
I,
one
I think
person
a couple of
that
guests.
actually that I talked to that actually made a lot of money, believe it or not, was the one guy, the only guy there who was actually selling Pokemon cards. He was the
Oh,
only one making that
oh,
really,
wow.
took home a lot. And so he
Wow.
was happy. He was thrilled. Matter of fact, he started walking around buying out Pokemon cards that other folk might have just had, on the side there.
Okay.
He was just buying their stuff and then, reselling it himself.
Wow.
So,
Wow. All right. Well, hey, cool. Thanks for telling us your experience about the show, and I'm really happy that you're joining us. I think you're coming to Lakeland,
yep.
and
Yep. I'll
then
be at the next
you'll
few
be in
shows.
next few shows, and I appreciate you being there and coming on here. And not a lot of vendors want to come on here, but I appreciate talking to you, giving us some insight. So thanks a lot there, Shimon, and we'll see you at the show in another week or so. Okay?
Yes, sir. All
All
right.
right.
Take care.
Thanks. Have a good night, man. Yeah,
Later.
bye now. Okay. All right. Well, see, yeah, and that's about the show. And again, these are things that I hear from vendors, new vendors. Usually it takes a couple times and everything like that. So let's go back. Let me go back to our Lakeland show is in another week. Okay. Well, about 2 weeks there. I'm going to be updating this schedule or this flyer with the guests and all that. And of course, we've got, we got Susanna Malik, who we may or may not get on here next week. I don't know, to talk about, her experiences on the shows. She was on Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and then she was on, I think, Ahsoka, playing various characters like the Jawas and stuff like that on that show. And so of course I've had the stupid Mandalorian, not stupid, it's actually pretty cool, but the Mandalorian music in my head the last few days, and I've watched the series again and all that. So we'll have her there. She's super cool, which is why I booked her. Not just because she's Star Wars, but I just I thought she's just a really cool. I met her a couple of times, and then of course we're gonna have Eddie Deason, who we did have at Super RetroCon a little over a year ago, but I don't think that he really got the exposure. My original plan was to just wait and bring him in for our Christmas holiday gift show. If we're able to do that again, great. But I believe Eddie is going to be on here with me next week at 7:30. I'm going to try to get him on here to just talk movies and shows and stuff like that before he flies in for the show next week. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep talking about our show, and I've got some stuff behind me here that I'm going to open, and I appreciate everybody being on here. Okay, let's just make sure that August. They did kill off Luke in that Disney movie. It's the second of the Disney trilogy there, if you don't know that. But and then I don't remember in Georgia there, August. And then and all right, these are all hide your droids. Yeah. Yeah, Eddie is nice. We had him before. I didn't spend a lot of time with him myself, but I think he's going to be good. And again, thanks for coming on here tonight there. All right, what I'm going to do is we got stuff that we're going to have at the show. If you guys remember, did we give out bags last year? What did we do, Lisa? Nothing?
No, we've given out bags every year for our anniversary.
Oh, okay. So for the last, let's say, couple years at least, we've given out bags. I originally planned on getting, or I'm going to be getting full color bags, kind of like the ones you see at MegaCon and stuff like that. Those are going to be a paid thing, I think. But I did, something a little bit more expensive and bigger and stuff like that. But I'm running out of time to do this, so I had ordered a couple weeks ago. I ordered and they came in today. A new color. So we've been giving out these bags the last couple of years. I think we had red.
We've been alternating between blue and red.
Yeah. So this is the first navy bag though that we've had.
Yeah.
So this is a navy bag version. So we'll be giving out. It'll be one per. I want to say family or whatever. So if you come up and you have like your wife or husband, wife, and kid or whatever, we'll just give one out just so we can give out more. So anyway, we'll be giving these away. About 400 or so, I think, is what I ordered. And then, yeah, we'll be giving those out this weekend, or not this weekend, but for the Lakeland show. Okay. We'll hold on to a few, so we'll have them for other shows, but we'll be charging for those after the Lakeland show. Also at the Lakeland show, and this is, I'm going to be confused. I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure if this is, I got blue and I got black. So let me, sorry guys, I can't see which one is what. So we'll open these, and I'm not trying to bore you guys. Okay, this is the black one. Okay, black. And what we're got is, if you're familiar with the I'm just going to go ahead and open this here. What's cool, what I like about the place that I order these is they come in these bags. So it keeps it, keeps it nice and dust free. So this is our new thing, black. Now, what I did was, so if you can get, so you've probably seen these t-shirts before. Okay. But this time, I don't know if you're going to be able to read this because it's backwards. Oh, cool. We're going to have a super collector t-shirts. Okay. That's going to, the goal is to create a package, and this is the black ones. All right. So if you guys are familiar with our super vendors, which are blue, so I must not have. So these are going to be like, there's going to be like a package that we put together along with our cups, which I only have a few of these. I'm going to order some more. I just ordered like 4 just because I got these super collector cups with our logo on it. So we'll have a few of these at the show. The goal is to create like a package where you got a t-shirt and a lanyard and all that. And then we could also have it like, yeah, Jonathan, we'll figure out a way. Message me on that, and we'll look into that. So I got these also, just a few of these, but I'm going to order. I love how the print came out on that. Look how nice that is. So I love how the print came out. So
and yes, Tony, we are giving away shopping bags at the show.
Yeah, Tony,
This is the only show that we give out.
This is the one show that we give out bags to. This is our anniversary show. So if you come to this, we usually give out around 400 bags.
Yeah, usually like 200 per day or so.
Yeah, like I think usually do like 250 on the first day. And all right, so the other one, I got another shirt, and this one should be blue. Navy. Okay. I don't think I put super collector on the back of this, but we'll find out. I'm going to open this one up. And I'm hoping to have lanyards, okay, for people and stuff as our like 6th anniversary. I don't know. I got hit with a major bill today, but for my car, but these are our blue ones. So if you like the blue, I don't think these have super collector on them, but give you guys an idea. They're blue. This is an XL. Okay. And there's nothing on the back of these. So there is a super collector special shirt, okay, that you can get. And then we've got the blue with the logo on it, which we're going to have Alan Grimes. So if you guys don't know, I want to give him credit. Alan Grimes made this art for us when we started. Okay. He lives here in Lakeland now. He's been a friend of our shows right from the rip. And these are supposed to be all the toys. So, the top 10 toys at that time that when we made this, that's what, so we're going to work on something new with a different theme, like I think Batman and
My Pretty Pony.
My Little Pony, I guess. Okay, we'll talk to Alan about that. Okay, so
Strawberry Shortcake. Rainbow Bright.
sure, sure.
Hey, we got girl collectors too.
Okay, well, okay, all right. Anyway, Garfield. Did you see the Garfield figures that I posted? Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Vaders, and yeah, and the bags. We're gonna have the goal is to have a whole package of the super collector pack, and then I want to get a lanyard, and so people they're super collectors, and so maybe they'll get a discount or they'll get in early or something like that. Was what I was going to.
The management team still finalizing
The
that.
blue shirt. Yeah, we're still working on finalizing that. But I do have a design made up for the lanyards, and I gotta quit messing around and order them. It's just, but it's not okay. Photo made. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's the photo of the pictures. In fact, you know what I did is I told you, or I told Alan that you made that the Ghostbusters guy made that picture, which it's actually hanging up over here if you see it by the door.
It's by the front door.
Yeah, that's where it is right now. Okay. All right, let's get back to the little schedule. Just kind of fell on the floor here. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna be not tomorrow, but this weekend I'll be in Michigan. I'm visiting family here. Those of you who don't know, my dog Cash, my Dalmatian, is up there with my sister. She's taking good care of my dog, who I've had some ear issues, ear infection. Dogs seem to get ear infections a lot for some reason, and so he's up there getting some really good care, and she's taking great. In fact, she wants a Dalmatian now. Like, it's like, hey man, you're not keeping my Dalmatian. Anyway, so I'll be there this weekend. I will be making updates though with photos and all that for the Lakeland show. If you're a vendor for Lakeland and you want your pictures shown, your stuff shown, okay, then please send them via the page or via text. If you have my text, if not, message me on the page and I'll give you that. So just make sure. Okay, so we went over the t-shirts and the bags, and the other thing with Lakeland is that we have a bigger space, so it's not just the space that we normally have. It's actually about another 10,000 square feet. So if you guys have been to our show and we've got that air wall there, the air wall is gone now. So we're actually our show where it's been 15,000 square feet is now 25,000 square feet. I did that after our Tampa show. Everyone loved having lots of room, so I was like, you know what, we'll go back and do that. So we're doing that. And then let's see, somebody else mentioned that they'll be there. So I think the Ghostbusters, Lakeland Ghostbusters, is planning on being there with a group. Hopefully you've got a group. Anyway, and then somewhere on here with the comments, and then wait a minute. Well, oh yeah, John Goodall will be there. He might be bringing some props. I'm still working out all that. John, I appreciate you being there. He's going to be coming out with his Star Wars group and some props. And then I think I talked to the one positive thing that I talked on Saturday was I think I talked to the Spring Hill of Darth Vader. He might be there. So I appreciate anybody that comes out. If you're wearing a costume, we just don't have a cosplay contest. It's not built around that, but you're certainly welcome to come out in costume. We're not just steal it from my page. I don't know what that means, but the photos. Yes. Okay. All right. All right. And thank you, Sean, our helper here, for coming on. All right. Ghostbusters. And then I am planning on, it may be half-assed. I'll be honest with you guys. My wife is setting up. She sets up in Tampa sometimes, and then she sets up in Lakeland pretty much. And so everybody else, we don't really set up, okay, in general. But these, the show is down the street from my house. And so my wife will be setting up, and then I'm hopefully setting up with Sean helping me. So I am at the point, you see, I'm surrounded by stuff. I mean, I got boxes in front of my arcade games. I'm just like, I can't, somebody's messaging me. So I'll have to come back to that. But anyway, I am planning on setting up. I may have some really cool stuff. I'm going to have cool stuff. I don't have cheap stuff though, because I don't buy, I'm not a vendor. I buy to collect. I buy, for my collection. And then a lot of times when I sell, it's because I want to upgrade what I have, or maybe I found a better piece or something like that. And so I don't have like, at my booth, you're not going to see a box of loose figures. I don't buy that stuff. So, it's just going to be stuff I can't fit in here, or, I've got 2 storage units, but anyway, Jeff will be setting up. So if you interested in some of my stuff, I'll be there. I'm just talking about Lakeland. Okay. And then, vendors will have our party, which I'll have some announcements on that, food wise and all that. We're doing some different changes this year. All right. And then, okay.
Cash will not be back before the show.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you have the cash, you can go home with you, Mr. Retro, Mr. Damien. Okay. All right. Let's talk. The next show is going to be Fort Myers. If you're interested in it, it's 2 days. We've had 2 really great shows, okay, down there. All right. 2 really great one-day shows. That we're going to try a 2-day show down there. We're bringing in the Pacina brothers for that event down there as guests. I haven't announced them yet, but I'm going to. So you've heard it here. Yes, I'll be Lewis. I'll be selling T-shirts at the show that I just showed you. But and I'll get back to your text here shortly. Yeah, if you pay your bill for Fort Myers, then I'm just kidding. I haven't even asked you for money, so I can't. I'm messing with. I don't want you to think that boils are great. So they were helping me with some other stuff.
Josh, yes, he can come.
All right, I will message him that. Okay, so all right, we're almost full in Fort Myers. I think I got some aisles left. I think I got a couple corners left, but Fort Myers has been really, really good. I don't know why vendors don't want to drive down there, but it's been a really good show. We've had over 1,000 both days, 1-day shows. We've done 2, and then we'll go back to 1 probably in January, just because I think January. But all right, and then Jack's, we're down to just a couple aisle tables if you're interested in that, and then Bradenton, I have aisles left. So so the next show that I'm going to post is going to be Daytona. This is going to be posted tomorrow. Daytona at Ocean Center. I've had people, I've had people come to me and say, you're not going to get anybody there. I don't know what we're going to do. So, but we're gonna give it a shot here, and I'm gonna share my screen. This is gonna show the space. Now, this wasn't the space. If you guys know, I don't go into big spaces like this, guys. Okay, this is not my thing. All right, like when I do a show. But here's what happened with this, and we're going to be able to take advantage of this. All All right. So in Daytona, they're giving us this large hall here. The reason why they're doing, even though I didn't want that, I wanted the meeting room. Okay. Which is, I don't, whatever, 10,000 square feet, I think. And, okay. And so they said, hey, we're having some construction in that room that you want in the meeting room. So next to it, so what we're going to do is we're going to give you the large space for the price of the meeting room, and we'll just wall off. They're going to pipe and drape off what we don't want. Okay. Yeah, no, this is it. You're correct. Okay. And this is also why I don't do big events, like big spaces like this. This is a picture I took earlier this year. Okay. This isn't a thing from the other day. Okay. So this is a picture of me actually. Okay, let me just go and see, this is the space. This is the other space that I wanted. And this is again. Okay, so what they're gonna do, guys, is let me get this. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna so over here, this is the hallway. In the top is the loading dock, and then in the back there's a parking lot, and over here is another space or something. I don't remember actually. Okay, this is a zoomed out version of my map, and so what they're gonna do is we're not gonna take that whole space. They're gonna pipe and drape off. But what's cool about this for vendors, okay, is that everything is going to be, because it's a 1-day show and it's a large space, and to make it easy, because we're not getting in until 6 o'clock on Sunday morning. Okay. All right. See you in Lakeland. And you 10 minutes till Shellhead's show. We'll be off by then, is the plan. So anyway, we're gonna have it. There's gonna be pipe and drape around the outside here, and then I'm limiting it to the amount of booths that you see, which is about 80. Okay, there's about 80 and they're all 10 by 10s. So to make it easy for them to get the stuff right, I'm just standardizing the booth. So when I post this tomorrow, everything that you see is a 10 by 10. So you'll have what walls, but it's not really a wall, because you're just not going to have anybody behind you. It'll be pipe and drape behind you. There'll be walls, there'll be corners, there'll be aisles. Everything is 10 by 10, guys. And you're going to have this great price for a 10 by 10. All right. And that just doesn't happen. But it's what I'm doing is they're giving me a special deal for the Ocean Center to come there. They contacted me about coming there, and we made the date, and we're gonna have the show. It is October 5th. That is the day after the Kissimmee show. So we're doing a double header. If you're already part of the Kissimmee show, which is basically sold out, even though I haven't posted it, everybody re-upped the last time. And there's a reason why I didn't. It's gonna feel kind of weird, because I could have went bigger in Kissimmee, but they told me they were going to charge parking if I did that, and now I did. And then this space is really too big for what I like to do, but I'm going to go ahead and try it. So either I'm going to look like crazy empty, crazy empty, or maybe I won't. But I don't usually like to rent huge spaces like this, because it takes a lot of people for it to look like there's anybody in there. Okay. And the reality is that, there might be 600 people in here. I mean, everyone's going to love it, because it's all going to be 10-foot aisles. The blue lines and the red lines are the aisleway. So there'll be plenty of space for everybody. Okay. But it's just vendors. If it doesn't look full or crazy full, now they think, oh, nobody's here. And there could be 600 people in there, and it's just the room is too big. But I don't normally do that, and I certainly don't recommend people do it. But this is what This is what was proposed to us. I think it's a great deal for vendors. I think the spaces are going to be in the $140 to $160 range, depending on what you get. So if you get an aisle, I think that's what it's going to be. I just going to make sure. But if you get an aisle, it's going to be $140 for 10 by 10 for one day. Okay, that's a lot of space. Okay, and then if you want a wall one that would be on the outside, that would be the 160, I think, and then the 150 will be the corner. Okay, so I'll be posting that tomorrow morning, or roughly, yeah, probably tomorrow morning on our page. And then that is again Daytona, October 5th. We'll be in Kissimmee, of course. Just going back to the schedule, we'll be in Kissimmee on October 4th, and then we're going over to Daytona. I'm going to finalize this. And then Port St. Lucie is already online on my not on my website. I need to update my website. And then next week we'll be posting the Tampa show. I'm still kind of figuring out some stuff with the South Florida show. I don't really have extra space there. I think I might have 2 tables or something. I've got what I tried to do. I don't know if Elliot's still on here or not. He may not be, but what I did try to do was I tried to replace a show in here October 12th and have that be another South Florida show, because I just felt that was needed, but I couldn't get the venue to do that I wanted. And so as of right now, there's no event there. But I'll be able to do something else. So, okay. I think I've, went over everything. Next week, we're going to try to have Eddie on live here on the show, 7:30. And we're going to try to do some interview with them and stuff. Maybe we'll be able to get Susanna. I haven't talked to her, but maybe we can get her. She's, again, really cool person. And we'll talk a little bit about her experiences if we can get her on. Maybe we'll have multiple videos next week before the show. Again, guys, this is our 6th anniversary show. I'm going to try to make it special, make it great. And I mean, we're really coming into, I think, our 7th year, if I do the math. So this marks going into the 7th year that we've been doing shows. It's 6 years for sure, but going into our 7th year, and I'm just amazed at that we've been able to do all these shows, and I really appreciate everybody coming out to them and vending at them and all that. And I'm going to try to keep things as positive as possible. This last weekend, it was more of you mess with dad, basically you poke the dad, and the kid gets upset. You're gonna be upset as the dad. So you're gonna. I was just yeah, man. You'll get one. Don't worry about it, man. We'll see that. I appreciate you guys, and I want to thanks August for last week for talking about the Eddie's thing. So we were able to put that together very quickly. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate your time, and talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye now.